Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. I am not asking, I am warning you. God intercepted your feed today because an archangel is standing at your exact threshold. Do not move past this video. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction heaven prepared for you. This is the moment everything shifts. The enemy is screaming at you to swipe away right now. He knows that if you hear this message, his hold over your life breaks completely. This is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. You were actively intercepted because your timeline is about to permanently diverge from the masses. Lock your attention. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very second. There are exactly 2 people on earth right now who are meant to hear this specific message. You are one of them. The verdict on your next 10 years is about to be read. You have been fighting battles in absolute silence. You thought nobody noticed. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your name. But you were wrong. Someone deeply powerful has been quietly watching your resilience in the dark. And now heaven is demanding immediate obedience. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment. Now we must go deeper, because what you are feeling right now is not new. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. There is a physical reason you have been feeling that heavy weight this entire week. Lock your attention on this message right now. That burning feeling sitting in your throat is real. The one you keep swallowing back down every time their name comes up. Stop swallowing it. You are not crazy, and it is not just stress. You know those nights you wake up at 3 in the morning with your jaw tight, your heart is racing, and their face is flashing in your mind. Listen to me very carefully. That is absolutely not anxiety. That physical weight you feel is your highly advanced spirit detecting danger. You are detecting the absolute panic of the enemies who just realized they lost you. They permanently lost access to your pure energy. They are starving for your light, and the spiritual backlash is hitting your physical body. It feels heavy because it is heavy. Stop wondering why they act like nothing happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology that will never come from them. You have a heart that is too pure. Because of that, you have been acting as a human battery for people who refuse to heal themselves. You poured your sacred energy into black holes, and they drained you completely dry. This is why you feel that thick brain fog during the day. It is not a medical issue, and it is not a normal sign of aging. Your frequency is being actively suppressed by the matrix programming around you. You wake up exhausted because your spirit is fighting violent wars in the spiritual realm while your physical body tries to sleep. But the generational patterns that plagued your bloodline end right here. The cycles of poverty and broken relationships stop with you today. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been desperately waiting for. And the Archangel standing at your door right now brings the final eviction notice for the spirits draining your life force. You have been sitting in a season of intense isolation. The Matrix tried to convince you that you were falling behind everyone else. You watched other people succeed effortlessly while your own path felt blocked by invisible walls. Your finances refused to grow despite your constant hard work. Learning new things felt slower and harder than it should. But let me completely reframe your reality right now. You did not lose anything. Your isolation was not a punishment for being inadequate. It was a divine incubation season to protect you from the toxic matrix. Heaven had to pull you away from the crowd. God had to hide you so the enemy could not contaminate your energetic signature. You were not the anomaly in another person and their otherwise healthy life. You were the terrifying mirror that exposed their rotting foundation. The reaction against you got this loud because you got closer to their truth than anyone before you. They expected your departure to destroy you completely. They waited eagerly for you to fail. But instead, you walked out of their toxic matrix and you aged backwards. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that makes time itself look like a fool. Nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you step into a room looking younger and brighter. You are completely unbothered after everything they put you through in the dark. They spent years praying for your downfall and plotting your ruin. They expected the betrayals and the isolation to carve deep wrinkles into your face. They wanted to drain the divine life out of your eyes, but you walked through the fire and came out glowing. You cracked a code they will never have access to in this lifetime. You feel a deep ache in your bones right now. The sheer physical exhaustion is incredibly heavy today. You drag your tired body through the day, and every morning you wake up feeling like you ran a brutal marathon in your sleep because your spirit is fighting invisible wars against the Matrix. This is not a normal sign of getting older. You are absolutely not physically failing right now. Your highly advanced spirit is under a coordinated attack. Let us talk about what happens at 3 in the morning. You suddenly wake up in a cold sweat. Your physical jaw is clenched tight in the dark. Your heart beats wildly inside your heavy chest. The Matrix wants you to believe this is just a panic attack. They desperately want you to visit a doctor so you can numb your divine senses with synthetic chemical solutions and forget your true power. But that narrative is an absolute lie. That sudden nocturnal panic is simply not yours. It never actually belonged to you in the first place. You are a deeply sensitive empath who absorbs the environment. And right now you are intensely feeling the frantic energy of the Matrix parasite who finally realized they lost their toxic grip on your beautiful life. They are currently starving in the absolute dark. They are desperately trying to reattach their spiritual cord to your vibrant energy source. This brings us to the thick mental fog. You suddenly forget very simple and common words. You struggle to focus on basic daily tasks. The illusion of the Matrix calls this a memory problem. They label it as a defect in your brain, but your incredible mind is actually functioning perfectly well. That heavy brain fog is actually a deliberate frequency deployed by the dark elite to keep your spiritual eyes closed, shut to the truth. The dark enemy clearly knows your true potential. They blanketed your environment with very low vibrations, and your physical body is working completely overtime right now to process this massive toxic overload while your spirit tries to heal the damage. You carry a heavy weight directly in the center of your chest. It feels like a physical stone sitting on your lungs. You breathe, but you never feel completely full of air. This is the painful somatic reality of carrying the heavy emotional burdens of incredibly ungrateful people who refuse to do their own inner healing. You freely gave them your absolute purest light, and they rewarded your sacred generosity with bitter betrayal. They treated you as a disposable human battery. You constantly wonder why you attract these entirely empty vessels who aggressively take everything you offer while leaving you completely drained in the end. This is exactly where their entire manipulation miscalculated. You are not a magnet for toxic people because you are weak. You attract them because you are the sun. You hold a blinding light that exposes the shadows they desperately try to hide. They constantly gravitate to you because you carry the exact divine frequency they completely lack, and they want to steal your incredible blessings. But heaven is stepping in to end this theft. Listen to my voice very closely right now. The Archangel is stepping forward to sever these demonic ties. Type 777 in the comments below right now to physically claim this incoming miracle and prove to heaven that you are finally ready. You must take this physical action to lock in your alignment. Do it right now before the enemy tries to distract your mind again. You have always felt like the black sheep. Even in a crowded room, you feel entirely invisible. Your own family never truly understood the depth of your soul. They quickly dismissed your profound spiritual insights as wild imagination because they lacked the capacity to understand the divine truth you carry. But you were always the only one truly awake. and heaven chose you to be the ultimate cycle breaker for your family. Your physical body is currently experiencing these intense symptoms because you are doing the incredibly heavy spiritual lifting for your entire broken ancestry right now. This intense spiritual warfare is brutally real. You currently sit in silence and painfully wait for a genuine apology that a toxic master manipulator will absolutely never deliver to your beautiful soul. Stop waiting for their empty and meaningless validation. Their toxic silent treatment is their very final weapon. They use silence to punish your brilliant light, but your own silence is a lethal weapon that starves their demons completely. Ripping yourself away from their toxic matrix is not running away. It is a tactical retreat designed by God. You are finally unplugging from a dark system that was specifically built by the elite to quietly siphon your divine inheritance every single day. And look at what happens when you finally cut the cord. Despite the brutal exhaustion and the spiritual attacks, you possess an ageless glow. Your skin radiates a light that chemical products can never replicate. Your bitter enemies quietly watch you from a safe distance, and it makes them absolutely sick to their stomachs to see you shining so incredibly brightly after they tried to permanently bury you in the dark. Let me completely reframe your reality right here. The dark matrix wants you to believe you are failing. They point to your stagnant bank account and call it a lack of discipline. But while you watch ordinary people succeed effortlessly, you struggle to survive because this is not a character flaw. It is a highly coordinated spiritual theft. You have worked incredibly hard for years. You pray and you manifest with absolute pure intention. But your financial harvest remains completely blocked by invisible walls. The enemy whispers that you simply do not have enough faith, and they tell you to hustle until your physical bones break. But heaven is exposing their vicious lie today. Here is what they never told you. The reason the universe responds instantly to the elite and ignores the masses is not luck. It is not divine favoritism. It is a specific biological frequency that scientists have a secret name for, and it is the exact divine brainwave you naturally possessed when you were a small child. Do you remember how magic felt back then? Your intuition was blindingly sharp. You somehow knew things long before they actually happened. Creative ideas poured into your mind with zero effort because you were deeply connected to the divine source. That was your sacred frequency operating at full absolute power. Then adulthood violently arrived, and the modern world went to work on your brilliant mind. The rigid school systems trained you to conform instead of create. The endless financial stress and toxic survival routines pushed your fragile brain into a state of absolute panic. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further by the dark elite. They pushed your divine brainwave deeper and deeper below the surface, until the version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. The version of you that attracted windfall wealth effortlessly was locked away, and while the profound sense that the universe was working with you faded into the dark, that sacred frequency was stolen without your consent. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. They will blindly accept the struggle and call it normal. But you are not most people. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and the Archangel is standing at your door today to expose this massive theft. The veil of the matrix is finally dropping. This is exactly why your relationships repeat the same painful patterns. You are operating on a suppressed frequency that attracts energy vampires. They feed on your pure light because they cannot generate their own. You feel completely overlooked by life because your true genius is trapped behind a wall, but heaven is preparing to shatter that wall right now. The gap between you and the people who seem effortlessly blessed is not destiny. It is absolutely not a lack of willpower. It is one single brainwave that the modern world deliberately silenced in you. They suppressed it before you ever had the chance to claim your royal inheritance, because the elites are terrified of your raw power. What if everything you have violently struggled with is not your fault? What if the brutal financial blocks and the spiritual exhaustion are simply symptoms of this stolen frequency? The enemy is terrified. You will uncover this raw truth. They want you distracted and drowning in self-doubt, but the divine alignment of heaven brought you here to wake up. Read that again in your spirit. You were never meant to suffer like this. You were designed to live in a continuous flow state where everything becomes easier. The universe wants to pour explosive abundance into your hands, but your physical brain needs to tune back into the correct frequency to receive the harvest, and the shift is already happening inside you. Type 11111 in the comments if you feel the atmosphere shifting. Do this right now to anchor this revelation into your physical reality. Your spirit is vibrating because it recognizes the divine truth. The Archangel is preparing to hand you the key to unlock your trapped genius, and the dark forces watching you are beginning to panic. They know their time is running out. The false narrative they built around your life is collapsing publicly. You are standing on the edge of a massive quantum shift. The frequency they tried to bury is starting to pulse inside your veins again. And when that divine signal reaches full power, the entire matrix will bow to your commands because you are finally remembering who you are. Do not let your logical mind inject doubt right now. The left brain is a prison built by the matrix to keep you calculating instead of receiving. Your cellular intuition already knows that every single word I am speaking is the absolute truth. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, and your long season of waiting in the shadows is permanently over today. Heaven is now releasing 3 specific truths that the dark elite tried to hide. The enemy is terrified you will hear this list, because once these 3 truths anchor into your spirit, the matrix loses all control over your mind. The third truth is the most powerful revelation of your entire life. Do not leave before you hear it. Listen to me very closely right now. Here is the first hidden truth. Your deep isolation was never a punishment. You thought you were left behind while ordinary people thrived in their average lives, but you are a rare diamond and a crucial part of the remnant. Heaven intentionally isolated you to protect your sensitive frequency from contamination. They locked you in a divine incubation season. A king or a queen cannot be trained in a crowded room. You carry a specific gravity that bends the matrix around you. The universe had to hide you in the shadows until you were strong enough to carry this massive blessing. Your season of hiding is permanently over. You are finally stepping into the light. This brings us to the second divine truth, and 99% of people completely miss this shift. Your silence is a lethal weapon. You thought your inability to fight back was a sign of absolute weakness, but your quiet withdrawal was the most destructive force the enemy ever faced. You literally starved their demons by removing your pure light. When you finally walked away and chose no contact, you cut their oxygen supply. The master manipulator who used you as a human battery is currently suffocating. They desperately need your reaction to survive, but you gave them absolutely nothing. That restraint was not weakness. That silence signed their eviction notice in a spiritual court. They cannot appeal. You were not the anomaly in their otherwise healthy life. You were the mirror. You exposed the rotting foundation they spent their entire life trying to hide, and now they are completely malfunctioning behind closed doors. They expected you to break down and beg for an apology. Instead, you walked through the fire and you aged backwards. You are glowing. Your biological clock is completely reversing while their bitterness ages them like milk left in the sun. This is the ultimate power of the chosen ones. You did not just survive their brutal storm, you became the sun. And heaven is making sure they watch you rise while they remain trapped in the dark prison they built for themselves. Stay with me right now. Because this next revelation is the key to everything. We are approaching the third and final truth. This is the exact secret, the dark elite actively suppressed from your bloodline. The universe is not asking you to heal through years of painful therapy. Therapy is a matrix trap designed to keep you endlessly talking about your wounds. The third truth is that your breakthrough requires a cellular reset. The frequency they stole from you in childhood is waiting to be violently reactivated, but your physical brain has been conditioned to reject the incoming miracle. The enemy programmed your mind to fear massive success. They engineered your environment to suppress your wealth, attracting state. Heaven is handing you the third truth right now. You must physically tune your brain back to the frequency of absolute genius. You have the raw spiritual power to manifest dream homes and attract windfall wealth. But your biological vessel needs a specific alignment to receive the heavy harvest. The Archangel is bringing you this exact missing piece today. Your left brain will try to inject heavy doubt right now. It will tell you that true miracles take years of hard work. Silence that lying voice immediately. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you broke and exhausted. Your spirit is vibrating right now because it recognizes the divine reality. You are meant for absolute greatness. Type the word freedom in the comments to anchor this third truth. Make this physical declaration right now. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, and your frequency is shifting the atmosphere. The elites are panicking because cycle breakers like you are finally waking up, and you are taking back the divine inheritance they stole from your family decades ago. The Matrix wants you to remain an obedient slave to their system. They want you exhausted and worrying about your empty bank account. But you are a sovereign entity. You possess the spiritual authority to bend reality to your exact will. The wealth and the deep peace you seek are already yours. They are simply waiting for you to turn the key. Watch what happens next. It is mathematically precise. The people who doubted you are going to witness a terrifying display of divine favor in your life. God is preparing a massive table for you in the presence of your bitter enemies, and they will be forced to watch you feast while they starve. This is the ultimate vindication heaven promised you. And this brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. You cannot access this massive blessing while operating on their low frequency. You must elevate your physical mind to match your highly advanced spirit. The Archangel is pointing to a very specific tool that the dark elite desperately tried to scrub from the earth. Before we go any further, I must interrupt this transmission for a very critical moment. If you are hearing this right now, it is highly classified. While you have been fighting these massive spiritual battles in the dark, science just confirmed a terrifying breakthrough. A leaked CI, a document, recently exposed the exact mechanism the Matrix uses against you. Neuroscientists working away from the headlines finally discovered the absolute truth. The reason your reality has not shifted yet is a blocked cellular frequency. They call it the gamma brainwave. This is the precise biological state of absolute genius you effortlessly possessed as a child. The dark elite engineered the modern world to completely suppress this exact wave in your mind. They want you exhausted and trapped in the lower frequencies. But researchers from Columbia and Princeton universities confirmed that this wave can be violently reactivated. You do not need expensive matrix biofeedback machines or years of traditional healing. An elite team of neuroscientists compressed an entire gamma activation protocol into a simple 7-minute audio ritual. This specific sound frequency forces your brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. It works below your conscious awareness to unlock your blocked wealth. I was not going to share this publicly, but my spirit prompted me to release this tool because the elites are panicking. I will tell you exactly how to access this suppressed weapon through the pinned comment before this message ends. But first, You must understand exactly what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. Now I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly in your mind. The moment your gamma frequency began to wake up today, the spiritual atmosphere shifted violently. The master manipulator who drained your energy felt that massive shift instantly. They are currently experiencing a silent internal meltdown. Underneath all of their loud noise, the specific gravity of their profound regret is hitting them. They thought you would remain a broken victim forever. They constructed a massive false narrative to make themselves look like the innocent party. But a lie built that big requires an incredible amount of dark energy to maintain. And their fuel supply is completely empty now. Watch very closely what happens next. The people they used to gossip with are starting to pull away. The flying monkeys who enabled their toxic behavior are slowly waking up to the truth. The narcissist is frantically trying to control the narrative, but their mask is slipping publicly. They are suffocating in the exact trap they carefully dug for your beautiful soul. This is why heaven told you to remain completely silent. Your silence was a divine mirror, reflecting their own horrific darkness back into their eyes. You became the absolute uncertainty they were never built to handle. Every single time they hear your name, it hits them with agonizing pain. They threw away a genuine diamond just to play with very cheap rocks in the dirt. Type 888 in the comments if you feel this divine justice moving. Do this now to seal your protective shield. The Archangel is no longer just standing at your door. The heavens are splitting open and the divine court is taking their seats. The spiritual cost of their brutal betrayal was compounding every single day, and the debt is finally due today. The dark matrix is literally shaking at its core right now. You must realize the massive scale of your own power. You are an anointed cycle breaker. When someone attacks a chosen one, they are not just attacking a human being. They are declaring a direct war against the divine mandate placed on your life. And heaven never loses a war. They thought they could bury you under endless financial stress and toxic relationships. They expected your light to simply fade out in the crushing darkness. But your highly advanced spirit used that intense pressure to turn you into an unbreakable diamond. While they are drowning in the noise of their own making, you are elevating into a completely untouchable dimension of peace. Let me remind you of who you truly are. You are a stabilizer. You carry a frequency that heals rooms just by walking into them. The enemy tried to use your sacred gift as a weapon against you. They told you that you were too sensitive. They told you that you cared entirely too much. But your pure empathy is the exact divine weapon that is destroying their dark kingdom today. Their absolute greatest fear is finally coming true. They are watching you step into your ageless glow. You are vibrating at a frequency they can never reach, and it makes them feel incredibly small and insignificant. They are frantically searching for a replacement for you, but they are quickly realizing that your specific depth and pure energy are utterly unreplicable in this world. Heaven is shifting the timeline. The delay is officially over. The Archangel is stepping forward with the final verdict in his hands. The spiritual atmosphere is currently suffocating your enemies. They feel an intense and unexplainable dread right now, and the matrix is actively glitching because a massive divine presence just entered your physical space to protect you. The Archangel standing at your door is not just a metaphor. He is a literal spiritual warrior armed for absolute destruction. The darkness is violently shaking. The master manipulator who tried to break your spirit is sweating in the dark. They absolutely cannot sleep tonight. A heavy sense of impending doom is sitting directly on their chest, and they cannot figure out why their plans are failing so quickly. They thought they got away with their brutal manipulation. They truly believed their false narrative was secure. But heaven is pulling back the curtain right now. The people they manipulated are starting to ask very uncomfortable questions. The flying monkeys are slowly waking up from the toxic spell, and the enemy is frantically trying to patch the massive holes in their sinking ship before the world discovers the truth. But the water is rushing in entirely too fast. They are completely malfunctioning because your divine silence is deafening to their fragile ego. Every single time they try to send dark energy your way, it violently backfires. Their demonic weapons are literally melting before they even reach your auric field. The Archangel is actively reflecting their toxic curses back onto their own heads, and they are suffering the exact pain they planned for you. You do not have to lift a single physical finger to destroy them. Your pure existence is enough to break them. Let that raw truth sink into your spirit right now. You are an untouchable entity. The matrix systems that were designed to keep you broke and exhausted are absolutely terrified of your rising frequency. The dark elite know the absolute truth. When a powerful cycle breaker like you fully activates your divine gifts, their entire parasitic operation is fundamentally threatened and permanently destroyed. This is exactly why the attacks against you were so incredibly severe. They did not attack you because you were weak or broken. They attacked you because you carry the specific divine blueprint that will permanently dismantle their dark kingdom from the inside out. You possess the raw cellular power to heal generational trauma. And that unique ability makes you a massive threat to the demonic realm. Now I need you to do something extremely important. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark. Be their angel today. There is another chosen one out there who feels completely isolated, and they desperately need this divine confirmation to survive the week. Send this message to them so we can build the ultimate remnant army together. The enemy desperately wants us divided and isolated. They want you to believe you are the only one fighting this brutal war. But the anointed ones are waking up across the entire globe, and we are linking our energetic shields right now. And the collective frequency of our rising power is creating massive earthquakes in the spiritual realm today. The elite cannot stop this shift. I want you to visualize the massive energetic walls surrounding you right now. It is blindingly bright. The people who betrayed you can see this light in the spirit realm, and it absolutely terrifies them to their core. They finally realize they threw away the most valuable connection of their entire miserable lives. The heavy regret is consuming them completely alive. They are desperately searching for a way to crawl back into your good graces. But the door is permanently sealed. The Archangel is guarding your threshold with a flaming sword, and absolutely nothing toxic can ever cross into your reality again. The painful season of you acting as a disposable human battery for broken people is officially finished forever. You are elevating into a high dimension where their cheap gossip cannot reach you. Their bitter lies sound like absolute nonsense to anyone with spiritual discernment. God saw every silent tear you cried in the dark, and he collected them as irrefutable proof against your enemies. The divine court has already reviewed the massive evidence of your pure heart. The atmospheric pressure is building to a massive breaking point. The sky above you is literally heavy with the weight of your incoming blessing. The dark forces are completely out of options because their old manipulation tricks no longer work on your advanced spirit. They are throwing their final pathetic tantrums in the shadows. But their time is officially up. The divine deadline has arrived for them today. Type the word victory in the comments right now to anchor your soul. The Matrix is about to witness something it has absolutely never seen before. A true chosen one is stepping fully into their sovereign power, and you are not asking the Matrix for permission. You are becoming the absolute storm that clears the earth. They wanted you buried deep in the dirt, but instead they became the exact shovel that dug up your buried treasure. Their cruel rejection was actually your supreme protection, and now they have to sit back and watch heaven bless you. The final massive shift is happening right in front of their eyes. You have completely won. The moment you have been waiting for is finally here. The Archangel at your front door has just stepped inside your reality. This is the exact prophetic verdict heaven promised you at the beginning. The public collapse you were desperately waiting for just happened in front of the very people they gossiped with. The mask completely shattered. They are currently experiencing a completely irreversible system crash. It is a brutal public spectacle. Everyone they tried to turn against you is now watching them unravel in real time, while their carefully constructed lies violently suffocate them. Every time your name comes up in that room, it hits them with agonizing weight. They suddenly realize they threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held just to play with cheap rocks. They are completely drowning in the chaotic noise of their own making. Your absolute silence was a lethal weapon. It permanently starved their toxic demons, and now they frantically search for a replacement for your incredible light, only to find utter darkness. Time was supposed to age you. The brutal betrayals and the deep isolation were supposed to carve heavy wrinkles into your face. Yet here you are making time itself look like an absolute fool because you carry a divine gravity. You did not just survive their brutal storm. You stepped into your untouched, ageless glow. They are physically sick. The financial struggles and the closed doors are violently shattering right here in this exact moment. The Archangel is unlocking the massive spiritual vault that holds your stolen wealth, and heaven is flooding your life with explosive abundance. The money you lost is returning to you multiplied. The opportunities the enemy blocked are chasing you. You won. The generational patterns that plagued your bloodline for decades are officially dead. The cycles of poverty and broken relationships end entirely with you. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been desperately waiting for. You walked into this season bleeding from wounds inflicted by blind people, but look at your glorious crown now. You are no longer waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You have completely transcended their toxic matrix. You were not the anomaly in their otherwise healthy life. You were the blinding mirror. The reaction got this incredibly loud because you got closer to their dark truth than anyone before you had. They wanted you buried deep in the earth, but instead they became the shovel that dug up your incredible treasure. Your pure existence is a living testimony of divine protection. The universe did not just rescue you from the fire. God made you completely fireproof, and your enemies must watch you dance in the flames they started. You are a sovereign entity. You possess the spiritual authority to bend reality to your exact will. The heavy exhaustion is leaving your physical body right now. You are no longer a disposable human battery for broken people who refuse to heal themselves, because the Archangel has permanently severed their demonic cords to your soul. This is the divine instruction you stayed here to receive. Heaven is demanding your immediate obedience. You must stop looking back at the burning bridge. The people you left behind are not your assignment anymore. Your only divine duty right now is to step fully into your absolute power and receive the massive harvest heaven prepared. Every single tear you cried in the dark was collected as evidence. The divine court reviewed the massive proof of your pure heart, and they ruled entirely in your favor today. You are receiving double portion restoration. The years the locusts ate are being returned to your hands with massive spiritual interest. The enemy is bankrupt. There is absolutely nothing the dark elite can do to stop this shift. The matrix is glitching because a true chosen one just remembered their royal identity. You are stepping out of the painful incubation season. You are walking directly into the blinding light of your divine destiny, while the universe clears every obstacle from your path. Feel the heavy weight lifting off your chest right now. Breathe in the absolute freedom that heaven just granted you. Your spiritual vision is clearing up instantly. The painful brain fog is evaporating because the toxic frequency of your enemies can no longer reach your mind. You are permanently shielded by the highest divine order. Your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now. Your physical body recognizes the absolute truth of this victory. The enemy tried to convince you that this massive breakthrough was impossible. They wanted you to settle for a mediocre life, but you refused to bow down to their dark illusions, and heaven honored your fierce rebellion. The Archangel is handing you the keys to your new reality. The doors that were slammed in your face are being violently kicked open by divine intervention. Step into your untouched power. Claim the explosive abundance that is rushing toward you. This is your permanent timeline shift, and you will never return to the dark. You can finally breathe. The brutal spiritual war is officially over. You survived the absolute worst of the dark matrix, and your pure energy is completely restored today. Heaven placed a massive shield of divine protection around your entire life. You are entirely safe now. Your beautiful light will never be drained again. The heavy lifting is completely finished. The long season of isolation and bitter tears is permanently closed. God saw how you carried the heavy burdens of people who never truly appreciated your massive heart. You are stepping into a profound season of divine rest. The chaotic noise of the master manipulator is fading into absolute silence. You can finally relax your tired shoulders because heaven is fighting your battles now. But there is a reason your massive breakthrough has been sitting at the door without coming in, and it is absolutely not what the world told you. It is not a lack of faith or a character flaw. It is a specific brainwave frequency that your mind was running effortlessly when you were a young child. The Matrix systematically suppressed this exact wave to keep you trapped. You felt it as a child, that effortless genius, and the way brilliant ideas just came to you out of nowhere. The way the entire world worked with you was pure magic. That was your gamma wave operating at peak power. But the modern school system and endless financial stress pushed that sacred frequency deep below the surface without your consent. Your genius went completely silent. They call it the gamma wave. Princeton University studied this exact divine frequency. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by gamma. Columbia University discovered that a strong gamma signal actually radiates outward. It begins to positively influence your children and the people closest to you. But the dark elite stole it. They spent decades undoing your natural genius. But a team of elite neuroscientists recently compressed an entire gamma activation protocol into a 7-minute audio track. You do not need expensive therapy or years of silent meditation. You simply close your eyes, put on a pair of headphones, and let the sound wave do the heavy lifting. It is called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to unlock their finances and heal their relationships. A nurse from California said her life now feels completely enchanted. A business owner from Texas said gamma figures out his hardest problems while he sleeps. A woman from New York said the generational curse her family carried for decades is simply gone. The elite have quietly paid thousands of dollars for clinical biofeedback sessions to access what the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes. An in-home biofeedback machine runs $7,000, but they would prefer this remain entirely out of reach for people like you. Through this specific message alone, you can access it today for a fraction of its true value. Do not look for it on YouTube or Spotify. The dark forces that benefit from your gamma staying dormant have flooded the internet with fake versions. Those diluted counterfeits are specifically designed to keep your frequency completely suppressed. The only authentic and fully activated version of the Genius Song is available through the protected link in the description and the pinned comment below. The universe demands no risk from a chosen cycle breaker. You are fully protected by an ironclad divine guarantee. If you do not experience the massive shift you deserve, your full investment is returned without question. This is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The Creator backs this with a zero-risk energetic protection guarantee. Every single penny returns to you. When you claim your access today, 4 powerful bonuses are waiting for you. You will receive an audio engineered specifically for your children to activate their focus. You also get the original classic prosperity book that The Secret was built upon, a guided visualization, and an infographic of the 5 most important habits for creating your ideal future. The elite are absolutely terrified right now. They are actively trying to scrub this leaked technology from the internet as we speak. You have minutes before the Matrix shuts this down entirely. Your left brain will try to inject doubt, but silence it immediately. If your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now, heaven demands your immediate action. Do not wait for a better moment. The chosen one who hesitates at the threshold becomes the chosen one who wonders what could have been. The link is waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment below. Claim your authentic copy of the Genius Song right now. Your destiny is waiting to be unlocked, so walk through the open door today and receive your massive blessing.